Well, good morning and welcome to a very windy Juma. And thank you so much for joining us on Escape to Nature on this beautiful Sunday. My name is Lisa. I will be your waterhole naturalist for the day, checking out what is lurking about around Gowrie Dam as well as the Ukukweya waterhole in Namibia. But I hope everyone is having a beautiful Sunday. And as always, remember we are live and we are very much interactive, so please do get in touch with us. Send us your questions, your comments, suggestions. Perhaps you want me to move the camera a little bit. Perhaps you see a leopard running past and I missed it. Please do get in touch with us. I'm very excited for today. Hopefully we see some wonderful things. According to one of our amazing zoomies, there are some vultures lurking about at Gowrie Dam. I did also see a marabou stalk, so you never know. You never know what we might see today. But remember, if you are watching on the app or on our website, you can just register and that way you can send us your questions and comments. Otherwise, if you do also follow us on YouTube, remember to subscribe and that way we can keep you posted with safaris, with highlights, all of that. But let me know what you are looking forward to today. I think we should definitely get a parachute or something with this wind today in Juma. But so far it is very, very, very quiet in Ukukweya as well. I've literally seen 2 wildebeest the whole morning, so but hopefully the animals will wake up. It is Sunday, so we can give them a little bit of time to rest. But if you were with us on Sunrise Safari, you will already have your adrenaline rush for the morning, as we've also seen a lot already today, but hopefully we'll continue for Escape to Nature as well. Mighty you are saying good morning, and thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Good morning to you too. I hope you are having a wonderful Sunday, and let me know where you are watching from. I always love hearing from where all of you are joining us, whether it's on the continent of Africa or perhaps elsewhere in the world. I would love to hear from all of you. And remember, you're more than welcome to send through any questions, whether it's about the locations, about the naturalists, about the animals. You are more than welcome to ask us anything. And of course, our time is a little bit less from today. We've only got 3 hours for Escape to Nature. So definitely do get in touch with us. Ask us absolutely everything. Just want to have a look-see at the waterhole and see. We did have Dewey, the hippo. If you have no idea who Dewey is, he's one of the resident hippos here in Juma. And he's got a big love for Gowrie Dam, but he does traverse between the dams, of course. Let me just see if I can find him. And if the camera does shake a little bit, I do apologize. It is fairly windy in Juma today, which I think is a good thing. Extreme heat is not always wonderful for the animals. You know, if there's a little bit of a breeze, it's just like us. Even if there's just a little bit of wind, it does help with cooling off. But Dewey is already cooling off, as you can see. If you do not know where the hippo is, I will show you, don't worry. So this is Dewey, our resident hippo, as I say. Sometimes he's here in Gowrie Dam, sometimes he's in Twin Dams, Treehouse Dam. He really does move around, and that's what hippos do. Yes, do. That's what hippos do. They really go from waterhole to waterhole. They mark their territory throughout the night. And just to the left of Dewey on that actual tree stump in the water, you can see a tiny terrapin as well. Terrapins are, of course, like freshwater turtles. And they are very common to see in the bushveld, really, not just in Greater Kruger, in the bushveld itself. You'll often see them around. And what this terrapin will do is every now and again he'll actually get onto Dewey's back, and much like an oxpecker or like we've seen the crows in Okukoyo, they feed off of the ticks and the parasites that actually leech onto animals. But for now, this terrapin seems to just be heating up for the day. Just chilling out a little bit. Seems like they're actually having a heart-to-heart there. Dewey is probably telling this terrapin he went on a date last night. Unfortunately, it did not go well. He wanted to impress the female, and he defecated, and he shook the tail to impress her, to mark his territory, but apparently, according to her, that is not how she was raised. That is not how you defecate as a hippo. It's very rude in her culture, apparently. But I don't know if Terry will get that. These are two very, very different species. But hopefully Dewey feels better after this heart-to-heart. Darcy Miller, I was wondering when you will bring this up again. Looking forward to an Afrikaans quiz of some sort. I definitely think we should do that today, Darcy Miller. I think we'll do a bit of... let's do birds today. How does that sound? We'll do a bit of birding. The Afrikaans names for birds, which is hilarious. The more I talk about my language, the more I realize how funny it is. And how much some of the words actually sound like swear words. I'm going to try to show you the marabou stork. As I said, it is a little bit windy, so just bear with me. Oh, never mind. This stork seemed to have swapped places with another. I just want to get an actual look at the face. But this one seems like a woolly neck stork. Kui, can I please see your face? Oh, please. Yes, it seems like this one is a woolly neck stork. But there was a marabou stork around earlier on, and I was actually very surprised because I was on my way to work. I was thinking this morning, I've not seen a marabou stork in ages. And of course, I think it was Cedric that had some at Madikwe. But they are truly fascinating birds. They're, of course, one of the many recyclers of the bush. I just hope this wind will die down a little bit. But I'm very selfish when I say that, because as I say, it's wonderful for the animals. They get to cool off a little bit. I'm just hoping it dies down for us to to not have the shaky shakes the whole time. But we'll work with it. We'll work with it. See what we can find. But Darcy Miller, speaking of which, what is a marabou stork called in Afrikaans, do you think? I know that's not generally how we do it. I give you the Afrikaans name first, But just to switch things up a little bit, do you know what we call a marabou stork in Afrikaans? It's not too difficult. As always, I won't start off difficult. We'll make it a little bit more challenging as we go along today. But what do we call a marabou stork in Afrikaans? Try not to Google it. Just give it a wild guess. But of course, you are more than welcome to research on it. I always find, when you are challenged or when you are questioned about something, it's always good to guess first and then do some research. But it's incredible what technology has actually allowed us to do over the years. In the olden days, you would have to grab a dictionary, look up the word. Nowadays, we've got apps. I mean, I myself am cheating right now. I've got an app that gives me various names of the bird. In English, of course, it's a marabou stork. In German, it is also a marabou. Ooh. In French, it is a marabout d'Afrique, I think. I don't know if that is correct. I do apologize if any of you are French and I absolutely butchered that. Just want to have a look-see, see if I can find our parrots. But again, if it's a little bit windy, if we do shake about a little bit, just bear with me. It's tricky to see, but if you look very closely, if you grab your binoculars, a magnifying glass, and you use a little bit of imagination, you can see just, if you look on the right hand side, the tree trunk, there's an actual crevice or a hole, and if you look just below that, there's a tiny head. There we are. You can just see the movement. That is one of the brown-headed parrots. Now, they are monogamous. They are busy nesting. I do not know if they have if the chicks have actually hatched or if they are just still busy incubating, because it does take a fair amount of time to incubate, but that actually gets done by both mom and dad, not just the female or not just the male. Ooh, I apologize about the wind. We can control many things, except for the weather. There you are. And it really is incredible when you look at these birds, because this is just like anything else in Mother Nature's design. Everything is worked out immaculately. So this is perfect camouflage for these birds. When they are in fact nesting, they can camouflage with that brown head, but then the rest of their body has got this beautiful, beautiful neon green plumage for both the male and the female. So hopefully they will come out for us today. You never know, they do that from time to time. And what they do, much like a domesticated parrot, if you will, they'll actually use their beak to get out from the tree trunk, or if they want to maneuver around the tree. That is one of the biggest tools that they use when they actually do move around. But both of them can be inside right now. I have no idea. It can just be the one parent. Oof. Wind, please work with us. I just want to show you, I mean, if you have no idea that they are nesting here, you would never know to actually look for them here. Alrighty, but we'll keep an eye on Juma and the parrots and Dewey and everything else. I think let's head on over and see if anyone has arrived in Okokoyo. We've got an impala. Look at us. We are making progress. It is, I believe it's that one ram that is always by himself. I would love to catch a coffee with this ram and see what is your story. Why are you alone? Do you not want many wives? Do you not want to belong to a bachelor group? But it is a fairly big male or a ram. So it might be that he's already had a harem, he's been challenged by a younger male, and perhaps he lost his harem to that male. For those of you that don't know, a harem is when a group of animals adapt a certain social structure, and that'll be like impalas, a lot of other antelopes, zebras, where there's one male and he gets to have a whole group of ladies. And he gets to mate with them, he gets to protect them, he has to listen to all of their demands. So it sounds glorious at first, but I don't know if I would want that job as a male.
On April 27th, Wild Earth will be celebrating a very special birthday. It's our Sweet 16. We want to celebrate you, our viewers who have been with us every step of the way.
I just appreciate you so much.
Send in your birthday wishes so we can include you in the celebrations.
Happy birthday, Wild Earth!
Video yourself saying happy birthday to Wild Earth with a short note and share them with us on birthday@wildearth.
But let me know what you think a marabou stork is called in Afrikaans. Ooh, good morning, good morning. You know, looking at these swallows now. Yesterday we actually went to Parys, which is a small town in South Africa, in the Free State. And we actually went to the Vaalrivier. And I promise you, if I had to count them, there was literally I would say easily 1,000 to 2,000 swallows just constantly over the water, and it was so magnificent. And yes, that is close to a river, so it is easy to find nature there and embrace it and everything. But I was once again just reminded that nature truly is all around us. Even for us here at the office at FC, I often go out and I just listen to all of the birds calling. It is always around us. I'm just trying to figure out what will the weather do here today, because it seems fairly sunny and open with blue skies. However, these clouds seem a little bit gloomy and ominous, which will be wonderful. I'm still holding my breath for some rain. Statistically speaking, we do still have a month left for some rain to get to Okokoyo. And the rest of the park has had more rain than we've had here. I don't know why that is. That is just how it works. Apparently, Mother Nature knows that, all right, this is a man-made waterhole, so we don't need to fill you up. You'll be fine. We know that you are cheating and you are filling up this for the animals when need be. But you can see it's looking super dry. For me, literally every second or third day, it looks even, I don't want to say looks worse, but with regards to the actual availability of food for the animals, it's not looking great, let's be honest. But all of these animals that live here, of course, you know, they've adapted, they've acclimated. And hopefully we'll see a lot of animals coming to the waterhole today. Some zebras, some oryxes, impalas, wildebeest. And as always, I am holding my breath for those big grey animals. But I will keep my eyes on the waterholes and of course keep all of you wonderful people informed. But for now, I'm going to send you over to a surprise with Andrew in Amakhala.
Thank you, Lisa, and good morning to everybody joining us on the game drive here at Amakhala Game Reserve in the Eastern Cape. We started off with the three amigos, nice and early, and I'm pretty glad that we have found them when we did, because it seems like we're going to have some extreme weather a little bit later. Hoping that rain doesn't come so we can continue doing what we're doing, but yeah, we'll just keep our fingers crossed. So my name is Andrew, and I have Paul behind the camera. And we're going to be taking you on safari here in the Eastern Cape, here in Amakhala Game Reserve. And we're going to start off with these cheetahs that are over here. So we're going to spend some time with them. I think we'll do a good few segments here. Sun is still out, which is nice. Hence the reason why they're out in the sun. They want to try and keep warm. But there is a bitter, cold wind blowing at the moment. Shame. They must be pretty cold. I mean, they do have fur on their body, but it's quite a short fur. But they're smart enough to realize that just to lay in the middle of the sun is going to be a good way for them to warm up quite nicely, and they can continue their day. I believe earlier on they were showing interest in hunting some zebra, which they have given up for now. So as you look at this one male that's busy lying down at the moment, nice and flat, here you can truly appreciate how slender they really are. Very slender animals. Even with a full stomach, they are slender animals. So currently we are roughly about 15 meters from them. Good morning, Tracy. Good to hear from you. I don't see any evidence of dewlaps. I know big, heavy male leopards, they tend to grow those dewlaps on the front of their body. I've seen one male leopard in my entire time in the bush with a nice big dewlap, but no, not with cheetah. So for them to cool down, they're going to need to pant, which is basically allowing air in and out the mouth, just breathing quite heavily, just trying to cool down, almost like a radiator effect. But what makes it quite a bonus for these three individuals is if they do start getting cold, for instance, and they're in a spot that they feel that maybe they could get warm there, but they're not. What they will do is they'll just huddle, they'll lie next to each other, and bear in mind that animals have got much higher temperatures, body temperatures, than what we do, and so they are able to huddle. Okay, so two of them are moving off there. Now the third one is up. Okay, so we are on a boundary at the moment. And what has happened is they have spotted something on the other side of the boundary that they are showing interest in, but there's going to be a boundary in the way. But let's watch them move off. We'll wait for them to settle down and then we'll catch up to them again. I believe Lisa is doing a bit of the Afrikaans names of the animals to see if you're able to guess what they are. So I'll give you what this particular animal is. I'm not going to say you must guess it. I'm going to just give it to you straight. This is a jaagluiperd. And a jaag is a hunt, if I'm not mistaken. And a luiperd is a leopard. So a hunting leopard is the direct translation in the Afrikaans language. I know in German it's a Gepard. South Africa, we call them cheetah in English, which actually derives from a Hindi word meaning a spotted one or a spotted cat. Okay, and so they are moving just on top of the ridge. I'm not going to follow them just yet. I'm just going to wait for them to really settle down before I start the vehicle, and then I get closer. Okay, while we're waiting for them just to settle down, I'm going to send you back to Lisa, who's in Ukukuyo at the moment.
Thank you, Andrew. Wonderful start you are having with cheetahs. Man, I've not seen cheetahs in the wild for quite some time. So I definitely am very, very, very jealous of you. Cheetah in Shangaan is called skankaan. So that is the word we will use generally, more so in the Greater Kruger. I don't know about Amakhala and those regions. But generally we'll refer to them in radio lingo as skankaan. But no cheetahs for us yet, sadly. Not just today, but I've never seen a cheetah here in Ukukuyo. However, they do occur here. We just have to actually find them. But hopefully one of these days we'll get a little bit more predator action, or sightings at least. So you can see we've got some swallows, and these are the pearl-breasted swallows that are flying about. And it really is such a beautiful day. They are just cooling off, getting a drink. Absolutely magnificent, magnificent birds. And in Afrikaans, you call them die parel bors swal. So parel is literally pearl, bors is breast, and swal is swallow. So that is a fairly simple direct translation, I would say. Pearl-breasted swallows. But I'm still waiting to hear from you. What do we call a marabou stork in Afrikaans? It's very easy. I will tell you that much. It's not difficult, this one. Pooh, too, you are saying it is a Storky McBeaky. I like that. It's not very Afrikaans, but we'll go for it. I definitely vouch for that one. I'm not opposed to that one. I like that, but it is not Pooh. But good guess. I like it. Keep them coming. Bradley, you just made my day because my director had to actually tell that to me in my ear, and that was beautiful, Tariwa. something Oyafar. You're not incorrect. Again, I love these suggestions that you guys are giving. Oyafar is of course a stork, so I mean you've got the second part correct, Bradley. But it is not a something though. In Afrikaans, that would, however, be iti Oyafar. But Oyafar is correct. Stork is a Oyafar. But what is marabou in Afrikaans? It's very easy. Literally straightforward, super simple, very easy. Darcy Miller, as always, you've got it. Marabou. It is literally a marabou. You can say marabou Oyafar, but yes, it's a marabou. Literally the same thing, just different spelling. It's almost like my name. It's Lisa is Lisa. For some reason, my parents just thought, let's throw an E in there to be creative. Marabou Oyafar. Fairly easy, right? Very, very easy. What is the next thing that I can ask? Ooh, let's go for an easy one. Another easy one. Another bird that we frequently see here is the pied crow. What do we call them in Afrikaans? Also very easy. A pied crow. And it's not like pied, like, because pie in Afrikaans is pastei, which literally is the thing that you eat, a pie. It is not that one. So, if you were thinking of that, that is not it. But you are more than welcome to still be creative. I love your suggestions. I know that Bundu Basha actually said the the marabou stork must be a begrafnis Oyafar, which literally means a funeral stork. I definitely love that one as well. Funeral stork. But what do we call a pied crow in Afrikaans? What a peaceful day. It is such a typical Sunday. Just spending some time listening to all of the beautiful birds, the lapwings, the crows, the swallows. Imagine we had a camp chair now, and we had a grill, or a braai as we call it in Afrikaans, and we were making some sausages and bacon and eggs and some fresh toast. Oh goodness, I'm making myself hungry now. Let us stop there. I did have a muffin though, so I'm not famished. I don't want you guys worrying that I'll pass out. I'll be fine. So for those of you that are Afrikaans, there's I think it was Nadine, not our beautiful director, but an artist in South Africa that has a song about the pied crow as well in Afrikaans. What do we call the pied crow in Afrikaans? And I wonder how long we will still be seeing our Abdom stalks. Charlene, you are saying it is a bondkraai. It might be. I haven't heard of that one, but it might be. You never know. But there's another one that specifically refers to the actual look when you look at the bird from the front. And again, for those of you that are from South Africa or speak Afrikaans, the singer Nadine has got a song about them. Not about them, but it features the bird in that song. Harold, you are saying it is a witborskraai. Yes, it is indeed. Wit refers to white, bors is breast, kraai is crow. So it's like the white-breast crow. And that song of Nadine is that, I have to think of the lyrics now. Why can't I think of the lyrics now? I wish we actually had a feature where you guys could send us voice notes. Die witborskraai, hier vandaan aan Mosselbaai. And then she carries on about a guy that doesn't kiss her enough anymore. I don't know why the crow is in the song, but very random, as I say. Afrikaans is a very, very interesting language. But yes, indeed, Harold and the rest of you that also got it correct, it is indeed a witborskraai, which literally means white-breast crow. You guys are slamming it today. I love it. Love it. Ooh, I've got our next one. Now this one, as I say, when we do these challenges, we make it a little bit more difficult and challenging as we go. So I think what I'll do later on is I'll start playing you some bird calls and then you have to give me the Afrikaans name for the bird. But the next bird I haven't actually seen here, I think. I have seen them many times in Djuma. What do we call a martial eagle in Afrikaans? A martial eagle. In Dutch, it's a vechtarend. And nope, I'm not even trying the rest of the languages. I do need a job still, so I will not be attempting that today. Oh, what is that? Is that our first zebra for the day? Yay, we've got a zebra. Very straightforward in Afrikaans, literally a zebra. Not a head scratcher. But I actually just want to show you while we are on this angle. Oh goodness. That is the sky, which is not what I wanted to show you. You can see how low the water level is becoming. So this actual structure that we can see at the bottom of your screen, that is the actual inlet. So this is a man-made waterhole. It's one of about 35 in Okokoyo. And some of them are man-made, some of them are natural. But this one is rapidly drying up. But this that we see here at the bottom of the screen, that's the actual inlet. So when the conservation management decides the time is right and that they predict there is no longer rain coming, then they will open the taps and the water hole will fill up a little bit for the animals. Good morning, zebra. Why are you by yourself? Can we introduce you to the impala ram that also maneuvers around by himself? I think you guys will stand a little bit of a better chance. I know you're very different, but I just think it will be an easier or safer bet for you. Not too sure if it's the rocky terrain or my imagination, but the zebra seems to have a little bit of a limp. But it could just be the actual terrain. Come on, zebra, you know you want to. So I'm sure many of you heard this thousands of times on Wild Earth. But you can see the zebra while it's walking. Yes, it is a little bit of a rocky terrain, but while it's walking, it's got this little bit of a head shake. Sadly, it is not agreeing with everything I'm saying. I wish that was the case. But of course, they've got those botflies, much like wildebeests and blesboks as well. And those little guys, ugh, they lay eggs in their nostrils because they feed off mucus. So you can imagine how annoying that must be. So that is why these animals constantly sort of have this head shake, just to try and get rid of some of that irritation. I, for one, would not be a fan of that at all. Very, very, very vigilant. And you'll see a definite difference when we look at this zebra and, the rest of the zebras and the herd animals that we see here at this waterhole. They'll sort of all just come to the waterhole because they know that they have that safety number factor. But this zebra being by itself, it is much more vulnerable. And it's very interesting. I wonder why this zebra is alone. Was it part of a bachelor group or harem? Was it kicked out? Did it perhaps get injured and lose its way? But obviously much more careful and alert because he's by himself. He's super vulnerable. Does not have protection of other zebras or really any animals. Well, apparently I made the next one too easy. Lorraine, Viv, Darcy, Estrelita, Harold, Lorraine, yes, I mentioned you. You all say it is a breekop arend. Yes, indeed. Darcy Miller, can I just personally thank you for this Afrikaans challenge today. I'm loving Tadiwa's Afrikaans today. It's beautiful. I love it. So yes, indeed, a martial eagle is a breekop arend. And breë literally means wide, kop is head, arend is eagle. So it's a wide head eagle, if you were to directly translate it. But apparently, according to Tadiwa, I am making these too easy. So if it becomes super difficult now, I apologize. You'll have to take it up with her. But no, we'll see what else we can do. What difficult ones can we do? Aww. Zebra, please do stay safe today. Find yourself some friends. And I have to be very honest with you. I'm shocked at how quiet and peaceful it is here today. Generally, by this time, we've had a lot of zebras, wildebeests, springboks, impalas, oryxes. And that again in itself is just proof that Mother Nature does not have a time or a rotation or schedule or really anything that we can predict. Every single day is a new day and every single day is different. Ooh, I know what our next one can be. So, I'm going to play you the call, but then I would please like from all of you the Afrikaans name for this bird. Hopefully you know it, it's a fairly easy one. And generally we see them quite often in Djuma. But remember, I would like to know what is the Afrikaans name of this bird. Hopefully that's an easy enough one. I know many of you know that bird by heart. They are endangered. But what do we call that bird in Afrikaans? I think it's a fairly easy one. But I am Afrikaans, so I don't know if that's fair to say that. And of course, you're more than welcome to let me know what we call these birds in your language as well. I would love to learn too. Of course, we love teaching all of you, but remember, for us as naturalists, every single day we learn something new, whether it's from our colleagues or from all of you wonderful viewers. I definitely want to learn from you too, so you're more than welcome to let me know as well when we talk about these birds, or really anything random. If you want to tell me, what do we call a cheetah in your language, or really any of the animals, you're more than welcome to send those through as well, since it is a little bit calmer today in Okukoyo and we are anxiously waiting for the animals. Oh, I really would love to be sitting here with all of you in real life now. Of course, this is happening in real time, but just imagine all of us having a camping chair, having a cup of coffee or tea or whatever floats your boat. Just to be able to sit here and enjoy all of this, talk about all of it. But luckily we get to do all of that virtually. And you are welcome to let us know what you're up to today for this wonderful, calm, peaceful Sunday. Darcy Miller, what are you up to? Harold, Michelle? I would love to hear from all of you. We've got wildebeest coming. Look at us making progress. Ta-da-da-da. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's something. We are getting there. Lorraine, Darcy Miller, Marissa, Harold, you all got it correct. Southern ground hornbill, which is the one that I played for you, that is called a bromvoël in Afrikaans. Brom is literally like, oh gosh, how can I explain this? It's when something makes noise like rum, 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 rum. And voël literally means bird. Like for instance, you would call a brompony would also be a scooter, and that is because of the sound that it makes. So bromvoël is a southern ground hornbill. You all got it correct. Apparently it's still too easy. I will definitely have to up my game. Play you some of the very rarely spotted birds. And these animals that we are seeing right now, very, very easy in Afrikaans. Wildebeests, literally in Afrikaans, blou wildebeest, which is the direct translation from blue wildebeest. Still fairly easy. But let me know, what do we call a southern ground hornbill or wildebeest or really anything in your language? I too would love to learn. Although I might probably butcher the pronunciation. Nina, you would like to know what are some of the languages I would like to learn. I would love to learn Spanish. French, I think, is also a good one. However, I would probably, as I said, completely butcher it. Goodness, there's so many. I think for me personally, I would like to just learn the languages in South Africa. I mean, we just in one country, we've got 11 official languages that are all spoken all over, South Africa, I should say. But yes, it's very difficult to actually learn all of them. I speak a little bit of Shangaan. I've lost a lot of it since I haven't been in the bush as well. But yes, just to simplify things, I would probably have to start in South Africa with some of our languages. And then, go international with French and Spanish and Portuguese and German and all of the wonderful languages that we have all over the world. But I think I should probably look into that. Life's short. We keep saying that we should do this, we want to do this, and then we just never get to it. I mean, we're already in April, and I feel like I haven't accomplished nearly as much as I wanted to by this time. But perhaps that's something a goal I should set for myself, within the next year or two. To learn a new language. I actually speak 3.5 languages. I speak Afrikaans, English, as I say, a little bit of Shangaan, And then the language that I am most fluent and best at is actually a combination of sarcasm and nonsense. Oh, just look at the tiny ones. They are so excited. Woohoo! Breakfast time, Mom.
Thank you, Wildeth, for this absolutely fantastic prize at Matea Safari Lodge at Madekwa in South Africa. I joined the Wildeth Explorer program at its onset in 2019 and have absolutely loved every minute I have experienced in the bush with all the characters of Wild Earth, both human and hairy. Thank you again, Wildeth.
Sign up today and you could be the one experiencing it for yourself.
But while we are watching the wildebeest kids walk away, that actually reminds me of the fact that we are super excited to announce that the Wild Earth Kids will be bringing back our school drive. And that, of course, happens for the first hour of the Sunset Safari every Wednesday. And that will be commencing from the 12th of April. So if you are a teacher and you would like to register your school, please do head over to our website, wildearth.tv/kids, and you can fill in the form. But please just know that there are limited spaces available. So make sure you register as soon as you can so you don't miss out. So you and your young wildebeests can also learn some new things, ask questions to the naturalist directly. That is definitely going to be super fun. I love it. Honestly, I love it. Many of you know this, but I believe that the future of the ecosystem and Mother Nature is in the hands of the future generations. So I think it's definitely important to get them as involved as we can. Wildebeest, what is happening? Did you forget to join them, or what is happening now? Are you not a part of them? No, this wildebeest was actually by himself. This will be a male. What is happening with all of the single animals today? Is it single Sunday, or is there a mixer that I don't know of, or what is happening? Where shall I go? Where shall I go? Where will my cologne smell the best? I always find it fascinating how wildebeests operate. So they are not like, for instance, a rhino or a lion or a lot of the other animals. As soon as they pick up those pheromones of the female that's potentially an estrus, he's like, ooh, I'm gonna find her. No. They just find a spot and they rub their faces on that spot in the soil, and then they just lie there and they advertise themselves. Good day, ladies. Does my cologne interest you? Do you think I smell lovely, attractive? Do you think I will give you beautiful offspring? And then the females will actually, sort of decide, okay, well, I mean, it doesn't smell as lovely as Charles a few months ago, but I guess this will do. Very clever, actually. Very practical. Conserving energy. I mean, if you look at a lot of the other animals, as soon as they pick up that scent of a female that might be ready to mate, they really make it their mission. I've seen lions malnutrition just because they travel kilometers and kilometers for days on end, and he just wants to track down that female that might be ready to mate. The wildebeest is like, no, I'll have my breakfast, have some muesli. Later on I'll have some more tea or coffee, and then I'll just get a bit of sunbathing done over here in this spot. Yes, this is where I advertise myself. And then he just waits. Brilliant. I love it. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to send some emails to the animals. Obviously, mine did not go through last night. But while I do that, I'm going to send you over to Cedric so he can tell you what a helmeted guinea fowl is in Afrikaans.
Thanks, Lisa. And yes, we are still sitting at the Clow Dam here at Madikwe Game Reserve in the northwestern area of South Africa, and we definitely have got a whole flock of helmeted guinea fowl that is busy roaming around here on the ground, of course looking for anything, a little bit of seeds to pick up on, and also they just came down for a drink. Two wildebeest as well in the background. But yes, a helmeted guinea fowl in Afrikaans. Well, I know guinea fowl in general is known as a Torrental. Torrental. So the translation to that, just I don't know. Torren, I know. Tal is language, so it's like my Tal is English. So that means my language, I speak English. So Tal is. So I don't know what Torren is. Maybe it's the way they make the noises that make that funny. I don't know. Maybe it could be viewed that. But yes, I'm so glad to be on Escape to Nature, and I think it's going to be a lovely morning around here. I'm hoping that we're going to find maybe some elephants that will be coming down there. There's been As I say, we are at Clo Dam, and at the moment it's low dam. But yes, I think, well, I am just going to just park off here and take a look around. But yes, well, I am the naturalist here at Madikwe. My name is Cedric, and behind the camera we've got Igor. So thank you for joining us on Escape to Nature this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, wherever you're watching from. And as I say, I am looking around. Looks like, hey, we might have a elephant later on, but you never know. But we do have some ostriches. That's a first for us here. I've got 2 male ostriches and a female that's busy feeding in the back end. They're beautiful. As you can see, those 2 males, very dark, very black. And of course the female's got that greyish colour to her. But of course busy eating all the little seeds that's lying on the ground. Lots of seeds, a lot of grass seeds at the moment. Definitely this time of the year, these grasses are releasing all the little seeds. So it is quite nice to see these big birds. Of course, the largest bird in the world is these ostriches. So yeah, as I say, it's a nice one to see at Madikwe. I guess we haven't seen an ostrich yet. We haven't put one on screen yet. We have seen one, but it was briefly the other day. But it's nice just to get to see these amazing birds around here. I don't think they do too well in this area because we haven't, as I said, we haven't seen so many. So because I think the predation side of things is quite high. So I think for the chicks, the survival rate for these ostrich chicks is going to be very small. I mean, we've got things, of course, all the predators, lions, cheetah, wild dogs, things like that can pretty much prey on the ostrich chicks. You definitely can see the female not as pretty as the male. This male's got those black feathers. Of course, there in the foreground we've got the Egyptian geese as well, just pecking away. This definitely turned out to be quite a nice morning weather-wise. Partly cloudy. Dylan, can ostriches swim? Oh, Dylan, I don't think so. I don't think they want to get those feathers wet. It's just going to act like a way belt to them. So I don't think they're going to try and get into the water and try and swim. So I will say no, Dylan. I don't think ostriches can swim. I've never seen that before, and I don't think we will ever see it unless it's an ostrich that just by chance ran into water and didn't know that the water was there in front of it. So maybe that could be the case. But other than that, you can imagine with those big feathers. Imagine climbing into the water. It's the same as you climbing into a dam or like any water hole, and you got like your jacket on and your long pants and your shoes. So when you climb into that water, what's going to happen? I think it's just going to weigh you down quite a bit, and it's not going to be safe. So Dylan, I think these ostriches, same thing. I think with all those feathers, if it has to go into the water, it's definitely going to weigh that bird down. And they're not built for water at all. So they're not built to kind of paddle around like Egyptian geese, and that they are built for that. They pretty much buoyant, so they sit really on top. I think those big birds, different story. Well, we've got 2 male elephants finally have decided to come down towards Dana. So of course you can see they just have come to this little inlet, little water pipe. I'll take a look here now, and of course having a good old drink for the morning as well. Hello boys, Yes, finally we made our appearance. We were getting a little bit lonely this side. Also, older male is standing on top, the younger one pretty much standing inside of this dugout area. At least they don't have too much competition around this pipe for the morning. If I was the elephant, I'll take this opportunity right away to come down here to have a nice drink here. You can see the ones who tackle the other one's trunk away, competing for that pipe. Try and stretch that trunk. It's amazing how far that trunk can stretch. Really get so far forward, and it's almost like a full stretch. And taking a look at these elephants around this pipe, and I'm talking about now many years ago. Now Lisa, of course, Lisa on Dam Camps, she'll know very well a lodge called Nkoro Bush Lodge. And many years ago, what happened there, they got like a pan on the open clearing, known as Nkoro Pan. Well, yeah, of course, Nkoro Pan. And that pan was always filled by a borehole. And how we used to always fill that pan, of course, or how we used to start the borehole, is there was a big Lister engine. Now the old Listers used to be like a typical diesel engine, but they like hardcore. Back in the they were built like in the 70s and 80s, maybe even beforehand. And we always used to start that Lister engine, of course, to pump the water out from the borehole into the pan. And there would be no animals in the vicinity, nothing. And as soon as we started that Lister engine, now the Lister's got a proper, like it's a diesel engine, so you can imagine it's got that real noise to it, and it thumps. And of course, when you start that Lister engine, it would not even be, I'd say, maybe a half an hour to an hour later, you'll see these big male elephants coming out of the woodwork. They would just come straight towards Nkoro Pan, knowing that there's clean water that is being pumped into that pan. And they would learn that by, of course, from one another. And then, of course, they would just make their way through to that area and just drink from that pan. And they would even try and sometimes rip that pipe out from the pan. Back in the days, we had to always pack a whole lot of rocks around the pipe itself and try and avoid that pipe being ripped out by the elephants. And it was crazy how they could pick up on that. So they knew when that Lister engine was Lister engine was running, they knew that the water was coming out, and they knew it was time for a good old drink. So yeah, I always remembered that from Nkoro Pan. Clever animals. They know exactly where to go, and they say memory of elephants got a good memory, so that's definitely a true fact. true fact. And of course, then the younger ones learn from the older ones all of a sudden. So those young elf males that follow the big males, they realize, hey, well, next time we hear this Lister engine going, we know that we'll have to go down to that pan. And there's going to be nice clean water. Andries, do elephant cows drink the same as cows or calves? Calves. Elephant calves drink the same amount as adults? No, definitely not, Andries. Definitely not. I mean, you're looking at, like, if it's a calf, a newborn calf of 100 kilograms compared to a 6-ton male. That is, of course, the size is completely different, way different, and the amount of water that a big male has to take in is about close to 70 liters per day. So you can imagine 70 liters, it's almost the size of the calf. So no, they will definitely drink way less compared to the adults. Way less. And sometimes even the little calves up to about maybe the age of about a year and a half, sometimes they won't even drink water. They'll get most of the substance and of course the water from the milk, you know, of course something to drink, and that all comes from the cow, from the mother. But other than that, after that they'll all start drinking, but it won't be that amount. I mean, this male now can easily drink up to about 35 to 40 liters while he's around here. And it doesn't seem like it, but they can suck up about 12 liters of water in that trunk at once. But yeah, they do. They rely a lot on water. They need to at least come down twice a day for a good drink, especially on hot days. Same thing as when you see like elephants walking, male elephants walking by themselves. That usually happens because you must understand that males, they don't hang around with those big herds. They are more by themselves, solitary, or sometimes you'll find you get the younger ones joining older ones to just learn and understand how to go about their daily things. But most of the time you'll find these elephants are wandering about all by themselves. Maybe he's going to have a bit of a mud bath here. Looks like you can see he's turning it up a bit. That's it, slap that mud against yourself. The whole idea is, of course, protection for that skin. Keeping the skin in good condition. Making sure that the skin is not going to get too badly damaged by the heat, by the sun. As well as, you know, that elephants, they don't have those oxpeckers roaming around on their bodies, taking all the ticks and fleas off of them. So if they need to get rid of parasites, it's the best way to do it, is to take your body full of mud. Let that mud suffocate all those parasites that's around on the body. And once that is done, and it's going to go towards a tree and then rub that mud off. And while it rubs that mud off, it's going to, of course, remove those parasites. So with that mud, he'll put a little bit in his trunk, just in the beginning, the tip part he'll put in his trunk, but he'll also hold it as well on the inside of the trunk. So he'll grab and try and lift some of that mud off as well. And put it just on the inside of the trunk and then slap it across.
Can you imagine a world without the magic of nature? Without iconic animals like the Big Five? Well, we can't. For 50 years, we have been dedicated to protecting your future and theirs. Help the Endangered Wildlife Trust to protect forever together. Your small change can make a big difference. SMS now to donate and tune in to Mix FM to win exciting prizes.
Well, it still looks like he's finished. The one is still busy having a mud bath, and there's another male that's also approaching. So it's just all the boys at the moment that's coming down to Clo Dam, to the waterhole. There's a young male that's coming down there as well. So I think his first thing he wants to do is go straight for some water, to drink some water. Then I'm sure then he's also going to have a bit of a bath. We've got a whole family of warthogs coming in at the background as well. It looks like 2 or 3 females here with the youngsters. I'm going to go. Chomini, I think all soils. That's where we see many times elephant with red, grey, light brown. So it all depends on the area. They're not too bothered on the soil types at all. Definitely not bothered about soil types. As long as it's muddy and it can stick against their skin, they are very happy with life. So yes, it doesn't, I don't think they have any, how can I say, preference on soil types when it comes to mud bathing. So sometimes sitting here at Clo Dam, you get all different kinds, all different color elephants coming down here. As I say, it all depends on the area that they've come from, the area that they used or utilized for feeding, and of course mud bathing, then you'll find that that soil or that color on their skin will be different. I love that little warthog family in the background. They're just coming down. I'm not too sure if they're going to come and wallow. Maybe. But just staying nicely in a distance away from these elephants, making sure that they're not going to get too close to these big animals. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 piglets. 5, 6, 7. Aren't they cute? Follow mom. Follow mom. Of course, auntie's there. So not all of those piglets belong to one female. As you know, female can only have maximum 4 youngsters. So there's definitely 2 or 3 moms that's there. Could be the older mother with her daughter that's had piglets. So sometimes the daughters will stay with their mothers for several years. Oh, here we go. They're all so excited for the wallow. Oh, there's another. Oh, oh. What are you doing? I guess he's not too keen. The little ones are already in the mud. First thing, before even the... Oh, look at that. They were so thirsty, shame. And they went straight for the water. Definitely thirsty warthogs. So Afrikaans, I don't know if Lisa has told you the Afrikaans name for them. It's called a vlakvark. Vlakvark. So vlakvark means shallow pig. Don't know, maybe because of where they live in the burrows. I'm not too sure, but it's called a shallow pig. Vlakvark. And then, of course, in Dutch, in Netherlands, they call it Vrattenschwein. Vrattenschwein. Vrat, of course, what? Schwein, pig. So, wart pig. Warty pig, because of the warts on their face, yeah. And then, of course, in French, they call it facoché. Facoché. That is in French. And then languages in South Africa, of course, Afrikaans, vlakvark, warthog, Ngalubi, or Honchi. So yes, I've got a lot of different names for these animals in all different languages. But yeah, anyway, let's head over to Andrew in Amakhala as he has got something that he wants to show you.
Okay, so we have managed to find a very spectacular giraffe bull over here, busy feeding on top of the sweet thorn there. And he really is very, very handsome. If you have a look at him, he's really mature at the moment. His his coat is nice and dark. Sorry about the wind. The wind is giving us a little bit of a problem here in the Eastern Cape this morning. Just beautiful, nice dark coloring. So for many years, actually, they used to say that older giraffes are going to be darker in color, like this gentleman over here. But there's been some new research done that old giraffes aren't necessarily dark. It's sort of the bulls that are very dominant and in a very mature state. They tend to go dark in coloration. Makes a good indicator for females. So if there were females around here interested in breeding, it's said that they are attracted to these very dark males like this. Look how gently he just nibbles off the leaves, off the thorn bushes. And if we watch this giraffe very carefully, you might find on a day like today when there is so much wind that this giraffe might over browse and on certain thorn bushes. And the reason for that is, a lot of these thorn bushes do release a chemical called tannin, which we've often spoken about before. And in some instances, the tannins can be released into the air via pheromones. Now, if the wind is blowing down in the south and going in a south direction, a giraffe is going to sort of feed in a north direction and not really worry about irritating the plant so much so that the tannins are being released in the form of the pheromones, because essentially the wind is blowing all those pheromones into an area that he is not necessarily going to feed in. But giraffes need to be really vigilant about really not irritating the plants that they feed on, because if they're not careful, pheromones are released communicating to other sweet thorns that there are overbrowsers in the area, and if this giraffe is not careful, then the entire area sort of that he's feeding in becomes bitter and unpalatable. And that's the prime reason why you see giraffes eating on a few leaves here and there, moving off, going on to the next bush, eating a few leaves here and there, moving on to the next bush. It's allowing the plant to settle down and not release those pheromones, those chemicals into the air. Magnificent bull that's gently walking off. Isn't he beautiful? It is quite normal for giraffe bulls of this stature to be alone and solitary. And this bull, because of the eyesight of giraffe being very, very good, he is going to see other giraffes from a very far distance away. And if he's interested in socializing, he'll make his way towards them and, socialize with them and potentially breed with them. But the minute he feels that he's already impregnated females that are in condition, or perhaps there is a group of giraffe that aren't in condition to breed, he's not going to really stick around there. He's going to move off and go look for another journey of giraffe, and so on and so on. So they don't really stay with the journeys. And at some point, he's going to spend some time by himself and gain condition, gives him a chance to gain his condition, get nice and strong. And there he walks. Whoopsie, got a little bit of a fright there. I don't know what he saw there. Good morning, Colin. Thanks for your question, Colin. So, Colin, this is a tricky one to answer, because for many, many years they said that giraffes do not vocalize at all, that they do not make a sound via, like with a vocal box or something like that. It said that they don't have a vocal box. But more recently, they have discovered that it seems that giraffes are making sounds on a very low frequency that we can't hear. They don't do it all the time. Apparently, when it's extremely dark and extremely perhaps cloudy, that it's blocking the moon out, that they have been recorded through a sound instrument of making these low-pitched humming sounds. Now, this is a new discovery, and right now, as we speak, they're doing some of the research on that. But to get a male's attention, what will happen is just as good as his eyesight is just as good as the female's eyesight is. And so if a female's in condition and she sees there's a male in the distance, she might even, with the journey, make their way towards that bull giraffe. But generally speaking, it's the males that need to source those females. The only sound I've ever heard a giraffe make was blowing air out the nose when it was in Timbavati, when a group of giraffe had spotted a leopard, and they were literally towering over this leopard and they were blowing air out the nose to give alarm calls. I haven't heard it since. I've only heard that once in my entire career. So it seems like they are quite silent animals for the most part. So this bull looks like he's probably just over 5 meters tall. So extremely high in height, which comes with advantages and disadvantages. The advantages is they're going to be able to reach the top of the vegetation where no other animals can reach, and accessing those nice, juicy, nutritious leaves at the top of the plants. They can see for a very long distance away because they're basically towers. But disadvantages come in when resting. Giraffes can't afford to, sit down on the ground for too long because it puts them in a very vulnerable state. So they've advanced themselves to only sleeping short periods of time, then getting back on the legs, getting up and start moving around again. And then drinking water comes with challenges as well. They really have to spread their legs or crouch, putting their head all the way down, which does put them in a very vulnerable position. He's moving quite a bit. He's feeding, but also covering distance at the same time. It's amazing how quickly they can walk when they're not feeding and they're just moving in a solid direction. And this is where giraffes tend to journey quite a bit, and they move quite long distances. And they generally stick around sometimes in areas where there are a lot of the sweet thorns and thorn bushes that they prefer to feed on. Okay, so this giraffe is slowly but surely disappearing into the bush. Let's go back to Lisa in Ukukuyo and see what she's busy with there.
Andrew, it is very, very busy here. We've got all of 2 animals, a wildebeest and a springbok. I don't know what's happening today. It is very strange. But again, that just goes to show that we can never predict what animals are going to do, and we should never take them for granted when we see so many of them. But it's been very interesting. I've seen 1 oryx as well. So apart from, the wildebeest herd that we did see earlier on, it's really just been single animals. So I surely must have missed an email or a memo or something. Perhaps it's Single Sunday. But as you can see, this beautiful animal at the bottom of the camera, the darker one, that is a blue wildebeest. And then the one showing us its bottom, that is a springbok. Oh, itchy. But this is literally below the camera. So here where these rocks are, just behind that, there's an actual fence, and that is where the Ukukuyo campground lies. So as we are watching all of these animals every single day live, the actual visitors to this place are getting to witness and experience and observe all of this in real life. So I think that must be such an incredible experience. But furthermore, nothing really to report. Well, I mean, if we could, we would import some animals today. But as I say, just a single oryx. And apart from the wildebeest herd that we saw earlier on, we just had that 1 zebra, that 1 impala. It is very, very interesting. But I mean, who would want to eat here? I personally would not. But these animals cannot be picky. They have to feed on whatever they can when it's available to them, even though it seems to us like there is not really anything right here. They know, they can smell, specifically the wildebeest, because wildebeest are generally selective grazers, so they can smell right now. It doesn't look all that nice, but there is still some nutrition in this grass. But one of these days there will be 0 grass left for them if we do not get some rain. So hopefully we'll get some rain. Just even 1 good proper rainstorm would be good before we head into, autumn, winter. You can see literally on this side there's some fencing. And that is where the actual camp is. So when there's lions, when there's elephants, when there's rhinos, whatever comes to this waterhole, of course, this wildebeest, the springbok, the visitors at the camp get to witness this literally on their doorstep. Woo! Probably just got a fright from one of the lesser spotted Homo sapiens. And I know this is one of Rolf's favorite places in the world. He's often visited here, he's guided here. So he's definitely got a world of knowledge and experience when it comes to this specific location. But it's incredible when you look at animals in general, like Cedric was referring to in Nkoro Bush Lodge now, the actual pan. I remember, as a kid when we had to go fill up that actual tank and everything. But it's incredible how animals learn, just like these animals. Yes, they see the people, they hear them, and just like in Djuma, around Gowrie Dam and the actual headquarters, they see the people, they know the people, but they sort of just get used to it. And even when we go out on safari as well, the animals know the vehicles, they know the sounds, the actual smells, and they just carry on with their lives. And as we are talking about, how well animals adapt, not just to us as humans. I mean, we have these noisy vehicles. We've got these smelly things that we spray on ourselves, for mosquitoes and for bugs and for sun. The animals really just adapt to that. They don't mind. When we have infrastructures and lodges and fences and more roads and things that we create, the animals just adapt. They carry on, they do their thing. And I just so badly wish that we could do the same for them more consciously and more often. Take them into consideration when we are just living our lives and carrying on, considering what can we do to help the animals or not to not bother the animals, whether it's their habitat or their behavior. I definitely think that's something that as humans we can improve on. Because for me personally, really in my whole career, that has been the most shocking thing is you have a pride of lions or giraffes or a herd of elephants, whatever the case is. And of course, as naturalists, we read their behavior and we sort of make sure that they are comfortable. But the animals just know, it's the paparazzi again, and they don't even flinch. But as soon as something rustles in the bush, they'll immediately react to that. And I always just admire them for that, it's wonderful, but it's also not great that they have done that over the years. They've just become so accustomed to us, whether we are, as I say, erecting lodges or bridges or whatever the case is. They always just carry on with their lives. Just like the springbok, this wildebeest, right now there's people behind us in the actual camp. And they know, okay, well, we know those noises. We are pretty used to it. I think we should definitely make more of an effort to be more like them. But I've got your next bird for you in Afrikaans. It's a little bit of a difficult one, I think, but I say that every time, and then you guys just get it so quickly. So the next bird I would like to know the Afrikaans name for is a purple indigo bird. What do we call them in Afrikaans? Purple indigo bird. You don't see them often, unfortunately. I think it was Ben that saw one the other day, if I'm not mistaken, on safari. For me, I don't think I've seen one. I might be wrong. Oh, we've got another springbok joining. Come on over to this side. The springbok is single. Perhaps you guys can become friends. But what do we call a purple indigo bird in Afrikaans? Just want to have a look, see if any other animals are approaching. 'Tis a very calm day at Ukukoyo. Can you imagine you had to work that hard to just get a little bit of dry grass? You can see also very selective, sniffing before he actually pulls out the grass. And I often say that animals are very resourceful, but if you think about it, everything is resourceful when it comes to Mother Nature. These plants, a tree that sheds its leaves in the winter time and stores the actual nutrition and water back into the roots. That way it doesn't have to keep feeding the leaves and lose water and condition during the winter times when it's not being fed by rain. Same with these plants. It looks gross to us. Or well, at least for me it doesn't look very appetizing. But this springbok can smell. There's still some nutrition left. Much like the rocks, all of these white rocks that we see around here in Ukukoyo, that is called calcrete. And that is filled with salts and minerals. So when it gets particularly dry, which it will even more so with the next coming months, the animals can smell, there is something left in here, and they'll actually start to lick the rocks. Some of them will consume some of the actual soil, because the soil is of course also mineral rich due to the rocks. So everything out here is just mind-blowing if you think about it. We are not nearly as resourceful as animals. We think we are. I think technology and weaponry and money has made us very, very naive and blind. But if we were to live off the land and, live naturally and organically, we would not make a week out here. Oh wow, apparently once again it was way too easy. Harold, Joss, Lorraine, you all say that the purple indigo bird is a witpoot blauw vinkie. Yes. So that means white paw blue. What's a vinkie? Goodness, now I'm blanking on my own language. But vinkie refers to the specific bird, yes. Witpoot blauw vinkie. Indeed. So obviously I am making it too easy, and that will be stopping right now. I've had enough of this nonsense. No, you guys are just way too clever. So what is the Afrikaans name for this bird? And if you know me well, or if you listen to Escape to Nature often, you will know that this is my favorite bird. But what is the Afrikaans name for this bird? It's my favorite bird because it's so noisy. No, I'm just kidding. No, they are very noisy. And I shan't tell you the English name because apparently I'm making it too easy. But what is the Afrikaans name for that bird? As I said, it is my ultimate favorite bird. Due to, no, not saying that, I don't want to give it away. But due to something that they do, it's my favorite bird. And I know often I've spoken about, the raptors. I enjoy the raptors, the woodlands kingfisher, the lilac-breasted roller. Those birds I enjoy photographing. But this one in particular, of all the birds, is my favorite bird. But what do we call them in Afrikaans?
Wild Earth's mission is an expensive one, but we know that our live experience is important to so many people that cannot afford to pay for it. We have added a donate button to our website. By donating, you are directly helping us share our free nature experiences with the world. We want Wild Earth to reach children, budding conservationists, and the less fortunate. A little money goes a long way. You can make a difference to someone today.
Seems like the wildebeests are the stars of the show today. Goodness, did you hear that tongue twister? Shoo, 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 shoo. The stars of the show today. For they are the only ones coming in groups. The rest of them are all just having some me time today. The zebra, the oryx, the impala, the springbok. And I'm sure I don't have to tell any of you this, but that call we are hearing, those are the wildebeests. That is also where one of their names are derived from. Brundled gnu. It's that gnu sound that they make. Oh dear, are you going to try to chat up the ladies? I don't know if you noticed, but it seems like they do have someone that has given them some babies already. That's different. Harold, you are giving us some extra information on the purple indigo bird. Goodness, I do apologize. So in Swedish, Purpurglansanka, German, Rosenamarant. Catherine, if you are listening, please correct me if that was incorrect. But thank you for that, Harold. That is super interesting. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And let me know if any of you have different languages. If there's something that you can teach us naturalists about your language, I would love to learn. As I always say, we tend to think we are super connected as human beings, but we are not at all. We are not using nearly as many of our resources that we actually can. And that is one thing that I always loved, working at Disney, but also being a naturalist, when guests actually said, please teach us your language, how would you say this? How would you say that? Of course, you're not going to learn a language in a day. But I do think it's definitely necessary and easy enough to learn something every now and again. Ooh. Well, I'm going to keep my eyes on these wildebeests. And I'm going to send you over to Cedric and Igor, who's got some olifante.
Thank you, Lisa. Yes, we have got these elephants, a nice little family that came down to the dam now, and we've got such small elephants that's having a ball of a time in this water. They are having such a party. You can see these young little ones splashing about and just being little kids. Oh, aren't they adorable? The rest are just having a drink, but no, there's three of them here, and these three are definitely rough and tumble in the water, and they are just having a time of their lives. Look at them. Aren't they so sweet? And the one is complete. There's two of them that's completely. Oh, that little one at the back. Oh, he's trying to get through. He wants to be part of the party. It's a big male that's just come in. So course, this big male came in. All of them looks like it's coming towards him and just coming to greet him. And off they go. Little busybodies. And there's 2 or 3 females that came to, of course, the pipe area. So one or two of these young ones belong to some of these females this side, because they all came down as a herd, but the little ones followed almost like the mid-age elephants, heading for the water for a bit of a swim. We're using that rubbing post. Pretty much you'll see a lot of things, from rhinos, buffaloes, warthogs. Even look at the elephants, they enjoy those rubbing posts. Try and scratch areas that they cannot get to, try and get rid of all the mud, parasites, and of course enjoy that quite a bit. All just kind of grouped up here at the moment. I'm not too sure exactly what the idea is. These little ones want to play, and they want to get to the water. It seems like the older ones are like, they're not interested. Eve, elephant herd is one family. So if it's 80 of them, they're all pretty much related, and so they all will be one big family. So sometimes you can get maybe just 2 in a herd, sometimes you can get 100 in a herd, all related, and it's all sisters and aunties and grannies and mothers and daughters. So that's how the family works. So the female elephants will remain with the herd, and then of course the males, they're the ones that get kicked out at 16, 17, but the females, they remain forever with the herd. So that's how I say when we talk about a herd, it's one family. The female's doing a little bit of reverse. She's not walking forward, she's a female that's just there now left. She just stopped now. So she was just walking all the way backwards.
Sorry about that. We will get Cedric and his heffalumps back as soon as we can. But how adorable are those little ones? I wish we had some baby elephants coming to say hello. But alas, not yet. We'll get there. We do have some small wildebeests. But that's really been... It's strange. That's really been the only animals that have come in herds today. The other ones have been by themselves, just doing their thing. Very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. But I'm still waiting to hear from all of you. What do we call an Afrikaans? African jacana. That was the call that I played. For those of you that missed it, perhaps, it is my favorite bird of all time. It's difficult though, choosing a favorite bird, just like it's difficult choosing a favorite animal or predator. But what do we call Africa? You see, now I'm all Afrikaans. African jacana in Afrikaans? It's a fairly easy one, and it refers to something about their looks. If you look at their exterior. But they are my favorite due to their social structure. Of course, they are polyandrous. And so the female will mate with the male. Oh, goodness, we are very, very dramatic today. You see, it's that one wildebeest. It's creating havoc now. Just calm down, dude. Do your thing. Spread your cologne. Someone will like you eventually. Don't be like that now. But sorry, the African jacanas, the females will mate with the males. She'll lay the eggs and then she'll say, thank you, ta-ta, here I go. On to the next one. But what do we call the African jacana in Afrikaans? It's a fairly easy one. If you do struggle with it, I will encourage you, before Googling it, Google up-close pictures of this bird. Perhaps that will give you a clue as to why they are called what they are in Afrikaans. And off they go. Leaving us, abandoning us, all by ourselves. It's fine. We'll look for something else, wildebeests. If you want to be like that, we will indulge in the beautiful scenery we have here in Okukoyo. Ooh, people, I am super excited for the answers for this next one. Cannot hear to hear Tadiwa's pronunciation on this one for the Afrikaans quiz we are having today. But speaking of quiz, remember it is time to register for Earth Quiz Mania. So it is Earth Month in April. So on Saturdays and Sundays in April, we'll be hosting a Quizmania marathon. So if you think if you think you have what it takes, there we are. Now I can pronunciate. If you think you've got what it takes, please do enter yourself and someone else. So it has to be at least 2 or more people to form a team. And you can do that by going to wildearth.tv/Quizmania. And please do bear in mind, the registration closes on the 29th of March. That is literally in 3 days. So please do make sure you enter yourself and your friend or friends. And yes, we'll definitely see who's going to be the winners. I'm super excited for it. I've had a bit of behind the scenes looks, a few actually, to see some of the questions and what is going to be asked. Some of my Bush Bibles has actually been used, so I hope it's not too difficult for all of you. Unfortunately, I cannot give you crib notes. All I can say is just pay attention when you are watching Escape to Nature, safaris, even just nature. You know, there can be a lot of clues in that as well. And definitely enter yourself for that. Of course, I'm not allowed to, but believe me, I'm super tempted. I wonder if I'm allowed to if I'm on leave. No, I don't think that is allowed. So I hope all of you do it for me. Henny, you are saying that an African jacana is called a groot lang toon. That was beautiful, Tadiwa. Indeed, literally means big, long toe. And for those of you that are not too familiar with the jacanas, the African jacana, definitely go look them up. They've got these beautiful big feet. And that is, you know, people always say they are walking on the water as well, because they've got those big toes and they are able to actually walk around on the water lilies and on the aquatic plants. So you are indeed correct. For any of you that also got it correct, thank you so much for your answers. I love it, and I love that all of you are always keen and interested in playing along. But that definitely was an easy one. Apparently the call wasn't easy enough. But they've got a very, very particular call, the African jacanas. If you are not too familiar with them, or as we refer to them in Afrikaans, groot lang toon, this is what they sound like. It's a very noisy bird. You can see why I relate with it. No, they are by far my favorite, but I think we'll do 1 or 2 more, perhaps. I have to find a very difficult one for all of you. Give you the call first and then have you do the Afrikaans name. Oh my goodness. No, we won't do. Ooh, I have not even told you guys yet. So, on Saturday, evening, I passed out on my couch watching a movie. And then, I think around like midnight or something, my better half woke me up and he was like, all right, let's go to bed and everything. But before he did that, he was like, wake up quickly. And there was a spotted eagle owl in our pond in front of our porch, busy bathing. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Like, I've never seen an owl bathing. Of course it happens, they are birds. They do that, but they are mostly nocturnal as well. So it's not often that you see them very active, unless you are really looking for them. But yes, we had a spotted eagle owl right in front of our porch, just having the best time in the pond. It was super incredible. Sorry, I actually forgot to share that with all of you. That threw me off a little bit. I am back to focusing on the on the next quiz. What shall we make it? What shall we make it? Ooh, I've got it. Let's see if the Afrikaans name is... Oh yes, this is difficult enough. Alright, this bird, I would like to know what we call them in Afrikaans. Now, that is a difficult one, because that is what a few of them sound like. Generally, you'll see them in flocks of hundreds, even thousands. I think for now that's the only clue I'm going to give, otherwise it might just give it away. But what do we call that bird that I just played for you in Afrikaans? Hopefully you'll get this one. I think you will. But I mean, we are nearing the end of Escape to Nature, unfortunately. So, as you all know me, it has to become a little bit difficult. I'm really going to cry if that was not difficult enough. Oh, machtig, sorry. I got so excited about it, I played it again. If it's any clue to you, they've got a beautiful red face.
Thanks to our wonderful Wild Earth explorers, Wild Earth Kids is back. Your monthly subscriptions have allowed us to relaunch Wild Earth Schools on a weekly basis, every Wednesday for the first hour of the Sunset Safari.
You guys bring a smile to my face every single day.
Sign your class up for a special virtual field trip to Africa, because touching the lives of the future protectors of our Earth truly matters.
Well, at least we are making some progress. There's a few more springbok than what we started with. But I'm really gobsmacked by how peaceful it is here today. Very, very interesting. Apart from one oryx, one zebra, and the wildebeest that we've seen, it's been fairly quiet. But of course, if you were not able to watch the whole Escape to Nature today, or perhaps if you miss out on some of the safaris, you are welcome to go check out the highlights, where we take all of the best bits of safari, Escape to Nature, all of that, and we compile it for you. And that way you can get a brief update or summary of everything that has happened. For us today on Escape to Nature, Cedric has had some elephants and guinea fowls and general game. Andrew has been having a lot of fun in Amakhala, trying not to blow away. But for us in Okokoyo, it has been fairly peaceful. We do have Dewey in Djuma, but in Djuma it's also very windy. But as I say, whatever you miss, you can just check out the highlights. And you can find that mostly on the app, but also on YouTube. If you just subscribe, that way you can keep updated with everything. Springbok, what could you possibly be gaining from there? It's literally soil. But as I said earlier, there is a lot of minerals in the actual soil as well, so the animals seem very silly, but that does help them a lot as well. Lorraine, you are saying a red-billed quillia is a rooiback quillia. Almost. Interestingly enough, in Afrikaans, it does not refer to the actual beak itself or the bill. So you're almost there, just your middle part needs a body change, if that makes sense. But fairly easy as well. I'm very impressed that you guys got that one, because the call is, for me personally, identifying the call is much easier when they are all flocking together. Of course, they are very, very noisy, the red-billed quillias. But you almost got it, Lorraine. You just need changing of one part or one piece. Jerome, you would like to know what do I think is the most difficult Afrikaans word? Woo! There's a few. Goodness. Motorwerktuigkundige. That is a mechanic. Another interesting word that I thought of yesterday, ironically enough, is anglicisme. Now, when you talk of an anglicisme in Afrikaans, it means you are directly translating something from English. So that could be, for instance, what's an example? Reparaties. So if you say reparaties, that is directly translated technically from repairs. That would technically in Afrikaans be herstelwerk. But the actual word that I'm referring to now is anglicisme. And that is when you directly try to translate something from English, which is not technically the correct Afrikaans name for it. But there are so many. so many. Woof. But yes, motorwerktuigkundige is always a good one. And I'm actually trying to think now. There are quite a few. When you actually delve into, and I'm sure many of you will find this with your own language as well, as soon as you start delving into it, then you're like, that does not make sense at all when you explain it to someone. And I found that so often working at Disney. When I actually had to explain something to someone, you know, in Afrikaans you would say this to explain this and this and this. And the deeper you go into explanation, you're like, oh my goodness, that makes... Ooh, hello, Gogaiki. Gogaiki means insect, or little insect. That was adorable. But yes, there are a lot of... Afrikaans is just a very interesting language. And that's why I say, you know, you're more than welcome to teach me about your languages as well. I encourage you to do so. I'm very keen and eager to learn about other languages as well. I always love doing that on safari with my guests. You know, I would ask them. I know Cedric earlier on referred to fakuche, which is a warthog. But specifically in Spanish, I think it was, because we had a lot of Brazilian guests. I eventually could tell the guest, you know, this is a javali, or this is a lion, or whatever the case was. Especially with javali. Javali referred to pig or warthog. When you saw that, then guests were immediately like, oh, okay, that's what you mean. And especially, you know, when you had kids, just asking them, please count for me in your language, and then you try to pick it up as well. I think it's so important, especially when you've got those opportunities, you know, just be like a sponge and learn as much as you can. I think it's definitely so important for us just to embrace one another in our languages, in our cultures, in absolutely everything. No big animals on the horizon yet. Tadiwa is asking me how would we say abdomstalk in Afrikaans. So that is called a klein swart ooievaar, which literally means small black stalk. Because they're of course the smallest of all the stalks in Africa. But it's a klein swart ooievaar, Tadiwa. But of course we've got a little bit of time left on Escape to Nature. So if there's anything you would like to ask or share with me, please do so. Let me know what you are doing on this beautiful Sunday. Michelle, Monique, Darcy Miller, Heidi, Harold, Lorraine. I'm probably forgetting a lot of people that have answered us today already and played along. But let me know what you are up to today. Or perhaps you want to teach me something about your language before we come to an end of Escape to Nature. Tadiwa, you have manifested the stalks, it seems. That is very weird. I think that is literally the first time that's happened to me. We have not seen them once today. And you literally just asked, what do we call them in Afrikaans? And ta-da! Perhaps we should do that more. Talk about leeu's, in luiperde, in olifante, in renosters, in jagluiperde, in bakoorvosse. Perhaps they'll come now. All of those animals. Swartrug jakkals, eystervark. So these are in fact the abdom stalks, or the klein swart ooievaars that Tadiwa was just asking about. So apparently she's got a magical power. Tadiwa, I need you to ask about more animals in Afrikaans, please, because apparently when you ask about them, they come. So we should definitely do that from now on. But definitely decrease in numbers. Not just with these birds, but with the animals. So I think things are changing up a little bit. Perhaps it was just a resting day for them. Not too sure. You know, I've asked them many times, please can you send me your schedule, but with no avail, so I'll just keep on trying. What is up with this wildebeest? He's literally looking for any friends. He tried a herd earlier on. He's now trying that smaller group. Tadiwa, a luiperd, is a leopard. A cheetah is a jagluiperd. A lion is a leeu. Elephant, olifant. Rhino is a rhinoster. Unfortunately, we can't talk about the buffaloes because they don't occur here in Ukukuyo. But what else? A eystervark. That's a porcospin. What is the what is a eystervark? Porcupine. There we are, Nadine. I was just testing Nadine. I still don't believe that she's Afrikaans. Estrelita, you are saying is an eystervark an iron pig in English? Because a pasvark in English is a road pork. Imagine we did directly translate everything. It would be rather funny. No, eystervark is a porcupine. Or in Spanish, if I'm not mistaken, it's a porcospin, I think. Gosh, I'm so out of practice. Eystervark, which directly translated does mean iron pig. How wonderful would it be to see one here? Of course, for the most part, they are nocturnal, so we'd have to have a nocturnal escape to nature. But I think we definitely then see some more action with regards to a luiperd and a jagluiperd and all of those glorious animals. I think this has definitely been a record for us today. Today with animal sightings, with the numbers of animals, you know, generally when we, because us naturalists, especially on Escape to Nature, you know, we like to send each other just a message to say, this is what we've seen today, you know, just that specifically myself and Alex, that we can keep updated with what happened at the waterholes and everything. But today's message is not going to be a lengthy one from myself. I can literally count the animals. We've probably had 45 wildebeests. This is probably give or take 100 storks. Perhaps a little less. Let's go with 85. And then I think we've seen a total of 8 springboks, 1 zebra, 1 oryx. So it's definitely been a humbling day for us at this waterhole, I would say.
Wild Show has aired. The curtain has begun descending. But wait, you didn't catch all the episodes live. We are proud to announce that all 24 episodes of The Wild Show are available on the app.
Can we stop there, please? Because
Watch out for The Wild Show Carousel, only on the app.
let's push play on this episode of The Wild Show.
Oh, our zebra count is up to 2. Look at us. We are making progress. Look at that. Perhaps it's the same zebra. I don't know. I apologize. I did not scan the barcode for the previous one this morning. So I can't tell you if it is the same one. I do apologize. All of these animals have name tags with the Wild Earth logo and everything, but do you think they actually wear them or put them on in the mornings? No. Why would they? Why would they do their jobs? Tis not the case. Catherine, you must hate me for wanting me to try to pronounce this. An African jacana in German. Blaustern Blattgunchen. Blaustern Blattgunchen. No. Tuchchen. No. I quit. I resign. Woo. You see, this is where we need a voice note feature. I'm definitely going to talk to the people upstairs. So I can just play the voice notes and I don't have to embarrass myself like that. Thank you for that, Catherine. But that was awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do want to learn about other languages. But whew, you threw me with a curveball there, Catherine. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I like being challenged. It's a good thing. It is a good thing. We shall do this again, Catherine. You can do it tomorrow please do it with Alex tomorrow. I beg of you, please do send that through and ask Alex to pronounce that. Perhaps he speaks German. I don't know. And he will just do it like it's a walk in the park. But Catherine, when I'm back on on Tuesday, you're more than welcome to send through some more. Just trying to have a look at the zebra. Is it limping or is it just the terrain? No, it seems fine, I think. Ooh, Catherine, you are saying very close. So I almost got it. You mean that butchering of that word. That was very... Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate it. I think you're just being nice now. No, that was fun. You know, I think it's crucial, especially, for us. We've got each other. I'm Afrikaans, some of you are German, some of you are Dutch. There's so much we can learn from one another with culture, with language, with the different animal names, with the different animals we have on our various continents and in our countries. I think we must definitely do this more often so I can learn more and embarrass myself more. But as always, it's been a wonderful day with all of you on Escape to Nature. And as I said, Alex will be in tomorrow. I will be back on Tuesday. Looking forward to having some more fun with all of you. But thank you so much, as always, for sending through your answers, your questions, your quizzes, your comments, literally everything. I appreciate all of you so much. And I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. And yes, remember, Sunset Safari will be starting at 2:30 p.m. Central African Time. So do stay tuned for that later on as well. But of course, after this, it'll be Just Nature, where you can also get some more info for your Quizmania questions. But again, thank you so much for a brilliant day. I've definitely had a lot of fun with all of you today, and I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. And yes, thank you for making Tadiwa pronunciate all of the Afrikaans words. But I hope everyone has a beautiful Sunday. I'll see you on Tuesday.